Alright, everybody, it's time to take a break from Final Fantasy XIV. Not the Wotv thing, but the actual game. Nah, I'm just kidding. I can't log into those servers. And that joke is already a little bit dated, but long and short of it, it's been just taking some time off for the weekend. Really didn't feel too much in the way of videos, and I was supposed to be working on, a TMR video with Diggs, but the dude has vanished and probably disappeared down the FF14 hole, so that'll be coming sometime in the future. Anyway, secrets and projects aside and general disappointments, let's talk about the new Japanese week here in the Wotv Japanese side. So this week, what do we got? We got a new story update featuring, looks like, some new characters as well as focusing on some old characters. At this point, I just don't think that it seems to be really hinting at anything major at this junction about any brand new characters. I've heard that maybe they're looking at bringing some more lower tier characters at some point in the future, but since there's just so many old characters that have character models in this game but probably are not necessarily deserving of a UR fully, that would be a good way to just get them out. And honestly, at this point, we need some newer, lower cost characters. It doesn't even have to make selection quests that difficult, although, it totally is going to. Alright, so moving on, what else can we see this week on the Japanese side? Well, we're going to see a Challenge the Best contest. So from the Leonis live tournament that happened during the 2nd anniversary live stream, the top 3 teams will be challengeable this week. So you're going to be able to go up against the winner, grand champion, the pure fire-based team, followed by the ice and wind team with Joom, as well as Helena and Halloween Leela. Of course, the first place team is Setia, Supermont, and last but not least, Super Glassy. So there you go. And the last team, Medina, Rafu, and Laswell. So yeah, ice team. So if you bring basically a pure fire team, probably a pure water team, and a anti-magic team featuring Celeste, this will probably be a pretty easy way to just get some extra resources. I hope they didn't make this overly stupidly challenging, but we'll see. It depends really what the missions are, but it's something else to do, and this is kind of fun, just if nothing else, for letting people take on what would be essentially the best, minus the fact that they're AI, and I don't think you are. Alright, and now, as of last week, we talked about Barris, and my opinion of Barris really hasn't changed that much. As a matter of fact, I've tested him a few more times on my days off, and his AI is just so focused on a damage dealer that... Oops, wrong screen. I'll just collect that while I'm here. That's staying in. So anyway, my opinion about Barris really hasn't changed all that much. As a matter of fact, I think him as a support at this point is looking very dubious. Same with calling him a healer. Neither of them feel very promising because he is just so focused on offensive. That will make him a pretty good farmer, much in the way Black Witch Helen is, but yeah, I don't see it really. I have to say that Barris has not been the most exciting for a couple of reasons, to do with how magic is on the JP side, and with the fact that I honestly just am less and less impressed with the general kit. But now, as it turns out, we're also just seeing that, guess what? He's not like the other Warriors of the Crystal, and this is kind of a little bit of a turn, because the vision card this week is very much a ice vision card, but there's no Esper attached to it. First of all, I'm not going to badmouth the artwork. The artwork is beautiful, as per always, if not a little sad, of Shell taking care of a... well, we're going to call it a sleeping cat, because my heart can only take so much. But as for the vision card itself, party will be ice, specifically for ice units, ice attack, magic attack up, as well as range attack, resistance up, with maximum damage possibility up for max leveling the card. And last but not least, for the single unit, you're just going to get ability activation time down, and I believe it's critical damage down. I want to say, let me double check that. I was doing real good in this video up until this moment, so reduce critical rate. So yeah, it's honestly, this vision card, I just don't know. It really depends on the numbers, but I'm not excited about this because a purely ice magic team, you'd need Valentine Salier, which on the JP side isn't really that, doesn't seem that likely at this point, because I think she's limited on the JP side. On the global side, I think that's a different story. But I have to say that I like global has a much better way of making this card work with Frivia and everything, and JP just doesn't have those units. So in overall, I don't feel that great about this vision card. This doesn't feel exciting, it doesn't really feel that good, and it's not really anything against Bears specifically. I'm just not super sold on an ice magic team on the JP side. It's missing too many components. It doesn't feel like it is that strong right now, given that fire is just so powerful. And again, mages, I just don't think are on as strong with the state of Japan right now. That's just kind of the way it is. So yeah, I'm not really excited about this vision card, but we'll see the numbers later this week. What I am more excited about is the FF6 trial event, which is kind of a weird thing to say, but I'm curious about how good this ribbon will be. And getting to punch Kefka over and over again will also be very fun. Locke is the super big bonus. Tina and Celeste are a large bonus. Thancred's a big bonus. Barris is a big bonus. Should be, and there's just a ton of big bonus units, so I don't think this is going to be really that hard. And vision cards as well, there's quite a few, including the new ones. So yeah, other than that, I'm just looking forward to getting this done and seeing how good this item is. I hope it's status effect protection more than anything, but we shall see. As for things to look forward to this week on the more of a upswing, first of all, really excited to see Elsie and her EX. I'm, as long as it's got some HP and attack and potentially some new damage abilities and maybe a chaining ability if we're really lucky, I think this is going to be awesome. She was already a really good unit kind of before, and I'm just curious to see how much better she can get in the future. And Light Slash is on a really big upswing right now, with the inclusion of Locke as well as Lucio. Throw in a Thancred or maybe a Cecil, and there's quite a few good options for it. But also Alum, as well as our other mid-tier character, Wister Murmur or Fart. I can't remember which one she is called. Just kidding for people out there who like her. We'll see. We'll see how good these mid-tier characters are. Alum I have really high hopes for because I think just she's in a pretty good place already and just stands to benefit from it even further. And continuing on, there's also going to be some master abilities coming in, Yerma being the most notable one. We'll see what the other ones look like after. But the other thing to note is that Gilgamesh is getting improved again. His old master ability number 2 is getting a slight increase of 250 HP. Gilgamesh isn't really in a bad place, except again for basically the fire thing. I think that this will just be a nice little boost for him. I don't think he's that far off being bad or like being good, and also, there are a few number of win teams. So Ice has a place. Ice definitely has. There's kind of an interesting balance of wind evasion teams on the JP side, light slash evasion teams. So sure hits are really good. Fire is still really good, and then you have ice that could come in and really do some good stuff with the sure hit abilities that it's getting off of its stuff lately, but then it gets countered by fire. So there's an interesting elemental dynamic that's going on between all the elements right now. Guess we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, that's basically it. There's also a little bit for the iPad OS stuff, but other than that, that's basically the Japanese side week. I have to say that overall, I'm just not happy with the way Barris is kind of being treated. I think that his AI ended up being really boring. He didn't really carve out much of an interesting path, seeing that we just got a mage DPS the previous month with Renan, so I'm not super crazy about it, though I do recognize that Barris is still a strong character. It just feels like they said, well, you already got the Ice Dragon, so why would you need anything else? Well, Jesus, Wotv guys, I don't know, why do we need another 10,000 sword espers before we finally get a fucking strike esper? Ugh. Anyway. Yeah, it's not worth getting angry about or anything, and I'm definitely not. I guess the point of this, I'm not angry about Barris, I'm just kind of disappointed. He didn't end up really getting the respect, and I feel like he's just going to be this weird blip that is powerful, but also feels not that great. Anyway, maybe it'll work. Maybe Globalers will be able to make him work better, and this vision card. So anyway, thanks for watching, take care, and see you in the next video.